Spread between 4th and 6th Streets in downtown Minneapolis. We welcome you inside spacious U.S. Bank Stadium. Today we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here, as it'll be the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
McCarthy going to put it up right away. And his first look is incomplete. Well, you and I, partner, we got the plum assignment this week. An unbeaten team against a one-loss team. Really not much separating these two entering play here today.
Not much at all, and I think for both coaches, they've looked at their team and said, guys, you got to know what you're getting into in this one, and you better be ready to go because you get to answer the big question of the day. Are we as good as we think we are? We're about to find out.
Now McCarthy. He finds his man complete. It's Ramos. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you that one. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. Well, it looks like one of the DBs has it. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
Now the first carry here for the running back. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
2nd and 12 at the 50-yard line.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And good penetration here. They'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. The second down play not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. Third down and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And almost, but not quite. Needed 10, he got 9. Fourth down.
Number 89. A 10-yard gain, but it's 4th down.
They'll try and run for it. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Throws right side, and that's complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. That one goes for 30 yards.
You ask tight ends about their favorite routes to run, and surprisingly, this will pop up as one of their staples because they run so many routes in the middle of the field. How about this one? Starts downfield, bends it to the corner, great touch on the football, and they turn that one into a big play.
his man in stride, complete. 3 yards is the gain that time, second and goal.
A gain of 3 brings up second and goal at the Vikings' 6-yard line.
Ready up. Go.
Now back to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line.
It's a loss of 4. Brings up third and goal.
They'll look to throw on third and goal. And it's caught. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That pass played good for 7, but it still brings up a 4th and goal. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals take a chance, but they find pay dirt on 4th and goal. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here.
35-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they, as mentioned, unbeaten to this point in the year, but you think this game, their toughest test yet.
Absolutely do, because to me, this is a good measuring stick game because they've been able to take advantage of the schedule. But here, this is another team leading its division with an eye on making a Super Bowl run, so this game is crucial.
Now a 2nd and 10. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Here's McCarthy. Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete. The Vikings at 6-0. What a start to the season for them. And they have certainly got it rolling as of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And I think this is where, as a head coach, you show your team some trust. Instead of just talking about winning, the very next game, you point out to them, wow, a nice run here. And if we keep doing this, we'll be playing at home in the postseason. And we know that that could ride us all the way to the Super Bowl if we get that done. Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got him the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
Looking to throw McCarthy. That's complete to Pearson. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
And the Vikings first down. 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
To the air again, McCarthy. And that is incomplete. Well, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. You look at this Arizona defense. It's quite a unit. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. 31 yards. And the Vikings are an extra point away from evening this one up. Extra point right down the middle. And we are tied at 7.
That ties the game at 7.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And, Charles, you look at these two teams, and these are those kind of litmus test games in the second half of the season that if you're a coach or a player, you can either really look forward to them or really dread them, depending on your point of view.
And if you're dreading them, you're not going to go very far in the playoffs. You need to look forward to these kind of games because here we've got two division leaders, both real contenders for the NFC title. And you're right, you love having easy games on your schedule, but you need some games like this to toughen you up a bit and ensure that you're ready for the shock of playoff football.
First down, Arizona.
These two teams all tied after 1. Cardinal football here to start quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. And here's a handoff out of the gun. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
No gain on the play.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
At the 40-yard line.
And the slot man goes in motion left. He'll get an opportunity with it on the touch pass. Now we're going to get a stoppage here as we've got an injured Cardinal on the field. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10.
At the 22-yard line.
They'll set up to throw. His throw caught about the 5. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals have taken the lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7.
Vikings 7.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
35-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Throwing is McCarthy. He'll find his rookie wideout from Ohio State here. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down. To the air with McCarthy. That's another incomplete to Mitchell. And now the rookie's free. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. 52 yards. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
Their own 23-yard line.
Okay, ready?
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. These two teams trading touchdowns here in what has been a back-and-forth first half.
And ordinarily, we're trying to figure out how to break out of a stalemate. Here, you're trying to figure out if you can slow someone down while continuing your breakneck pace on offense. I know one thing. The people in the crowd, they're getting their money's worth right now.
And the fantasy owners like it.
Oh, without a doubt. They're just tallying them up, aren't they?
They're watching this game.
I've got a good friend in football who always talks about predictive history. He's got one of their 2 touchdowns. You can understand why they tried to find him again. Weren't able to connect, but the thought, that was good.
Ready?
Here's 2nd and 10.
Here we go. Like 60 Bison. 60 Bison. Hey, smash.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That goes for 14 yards, first down Cardinals.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back to throw here. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Second and 4. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Man, and he hits him in stride. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. A few moving pieces on that play because that was an RPO, was it not?
It was, but one important piece that didn't move incorrectly, the offensive line. Because when you're running this play, as he continued down the line of scrimmage, sometimes the lineman can wander downfield. And if you're more than a yard downfield, it's illegal to throw the football at that point. They held their ground, held their spot, and turned it into a nice game.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, Not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. This is 2nd and 8. They'll drop to throw. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. They'll look to throw here. He'll try and do this himself. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they will advance this across midfield, but still well shy of a first as he's tackled at the 47. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 4th down on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And they won't get a chance to bring this one back. It goes out of bounds back near their own 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 for last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
They'll run on 1st down. Kroger. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
It's a pickup of 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Ready up! Buffalo 18! Hawks! 60 Bison! 60 Bison!
They'll keep it on the ground. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
McCarthy operating from the gun. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards. And I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw. McCarthy. Man open. Here's Crowder. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. 37 yards. And the Vikings will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point forthcoming.
For the extra point.
It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14.
Vikings 21, Cardinals 14.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And we will not have a run back here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 20-yard line. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. With a slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. And got his man complete. And the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. That's evidence of why you spend a high draft pick on a receiver, isn't it, Charles?
It certainly is, his ability to make plays like that, and we've seen flashes of it from him so far in his rookie season. But also, it opens things up for the rest of the offense because they have to bring their attention to him as well.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. A great play there. 43 yards. And the Cardinals are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And a pretty slick return there. Almost got it to the 45. Officially, they'll call him down at the 44.
Well, that return gives them a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Throwing to start the drive. McCarthy. Open man, that's Felton. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45.
It's a gain of 11.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not
because
at all.
Those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
Well, that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
It leads to
with a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm, incomplete. Now it's third down.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
18, Pioneer. 19, Lion.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
Good defensive call right there because they had someone shadowing him along his entire route. And he was right there ready to provide a hit to prevent him from making another catch to his big start.
Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Yeah, he was looking for the check up bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And with only 4 seconds on the clock, time likely for just one snap of the football. They'll throw now on the final play. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. Oh, good return up past the 30.
The Cardinals take over first and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. Well, the first half, very even. I mean, really, in all facets, this ball game tied, Charles. So as we start the third quarter, curious to see what the second half brings us.
Certainly am. I'm with you on that one. And we all know a lot of coaches from the NFL all the way down to the Pee Wee level. They love to spin it to their teams. Hey, we're starting a brand new, shorter ball game. It's all even. Let's go out and seize it. This is ours.
Rifles one, that's going to be intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And it's good. That makes it a 28-21 game.
Vikings 28, Cardinals 21.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Now they can't bring him down. Oh, and some hitting going on now. This has been a tight game, and he takes a big shot there on the return. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. The defense rising to the challenge and setting them back on the sack. Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Hands it off out of the gun. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
A loss of 2 yards. And it's third down.
Incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. Here comes the Cardinals punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Returnable here from the 38. A nice return that time. Gets 12 yards back. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
It's 2nd and inches at the Cardinals' 41-yard line.
McCarthy off the play fake. He finds his man complete. That's Ramos. And he's going to be knocked down hard at the end of that one.
First down.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Touchdown, Vikings! Great effort there. 34 yards. And the Vikings go up by 2 touchdowns. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now up to 14.
Cardinals 21.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
First and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And these guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up first and 10 at the 44-yard line. He'll look to throw. Pass complete there to Harrison. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 18 yards the gain for number 18.
That's another Cardinals first down. A gain of 18 on the play. First down, Arizona.
In motion right, that's Harrison. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Cardinals are back within a score. Here's Bass now for the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown.
Makes the score Vikings 35, Cardinals 28.
The Cardinals set now to kick this one away, and off we go. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Pretty important third-quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, give him 14.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
Now McCarthy. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it'll be second down.
At the 42-yard line.
Got it. Ready? 19 Lions. Let's go. Go.
Operating from the gun, McCarthy. That's over the middle and caught by Pearsall. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 44-yard line.
It's a gain of 14
They give them 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
First down.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up first and 10. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a first down.
First and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Motion. 70-10.
Now a handoff up the middle. Kroger. He finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down.
A gain of 4. It's now second and 6.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
On the set.
Ball on the 27. Here's 2nd and 6.
Here we go.
Looking to throw. McCarthy. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3. But now it's 3rd down. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup.
And that's a gutsy call there on 3rd and short, because that's a play that's got a good chance of being blown up in the backfield for a big loss of yardage. But nice job out wide to gather in that screen pass. Uses blockers well.
And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Ty Felton, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Vikings add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now up to 14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Man, confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And that nearly intercepted. With a free safety roaming into position, almost had it, but it's 2nd down. To throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Cardinals first down. A gain of 12. And the Cardinals first down.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll look to throw again. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Vikings are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And it's complete to Mitchell. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, no apologies. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it's 2nd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, Something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open. That makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Here's McCarthy. Wide open receiver complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Ty Felton with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. And the Vikings are closing in now on a 7th straight win to start the year. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
The Cardinals take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. What a spin. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9.
It
looked like they were trying to get him outside there, but this defense had different plans.
Yeah, they really had an outside-in kind of a pass rush. It's almost like when you're covering a punt. You can't let him get to the outside and get to the sideline. You force him to stay in the middle of the field. And they did exactly that and made the play.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Ready? 60 Eagles, 60 Eagles. Come 19, come 19. Hey, smash front row.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. How to approach this. 3rd down and 16 yards to go. Now back to throw. Now man, he hits him in stride. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
A gain of 26 yards. 1st down, Cardinals.
They're going to look to throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second. He'll look to throw. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him, and after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense, but they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to close things out. They'll take that one and head to the locker room.
On first down, Crowder down at the 25.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
They'll keep it on the ground. Crowder. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Now a 3rd and 6. Looking to throw McCarthy. Left side, that's caught by Mitchell. And they do get it down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Minnesota, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0.